Welcome back, students, to part 2 of the spinning top challenge. We are going to be doing some decorations on your top right now. So before we move into that, let's double check. The diameter of your top needs to be 2 inches or less. So 1.75, it's less than that, it's fine. The height needs to be 1 inch or less, right? So 1 inch or less, anything less than 1 inch would be fine there. So let's jump right in here. I'm going to say okay, and you should hopefully have some sort of top. Again, it does not need to look just like mine. It shouldn't look just like mine. So when we first start this, we are going to learn a new little technique right now. Right now, we only have these planes to start drawing on, right? We are going to create a new plane so that we can draw right on that surface there. It's going to make our life easier. So right here, there's going to be the plane tool. If you're not seeing it, you can always search for plane there, but it's P-L-A-N-E. So we're going to select that, and we're going to want to create a plane that's kind of on this surface, or at least pretty close. So we're going to say an offset plane. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll see it kind of guesses I want it up there, but actually I want it down here. And the easy way to do this is just kind of slide it down until it's on that surface or right below the surface, right? If it's right below the surface, that's not going to be a problem. So if it's kind of hidden inside your part like that, that's perfectly all right. I'm going to say okay. And now I'm going to start a new sketch. And when I'm selecting that plane, you might not be able to see it in there, but I can select it right over here on this list as well. So I'm going to be sketching on that surface, and now we're ready to rock and roll. And I'm going to view it from the top there. So we are going to want to hide this part maybe for once in a while and bring it back. So get ready to hide that and bring it back once in a while. It's going to make your life easier to not look at it all the time. But right now, to start, I want to look at it, and I'm going to push this use button, and I'm going to use this outer diameter here, and that's, you'll see what this does here in a second, and I'm going to use just that outer diameter right now. And now if I hide that, I'm going to see I have that big circle there. So it is telling me how big my part is. Okay? And I'm going to hide that plane there as well. All right, so now that I have that, I can really start doing whatever I want in here. Maybe I want to put a circle over here, and maybe I want to put a whatever. It's up to you, right? This is just decoration. Maybe I want to put a little notch in the side of it. And do something like that. Maybe I want to do some arcs or something like that. So do whatever you like here. Make your design look cool. You can put a little face on there. So one important thing about a top, though, is if you can see here, it's symmetrical, right? So the pattern repeats in a circle, much like a flower would, right? So once you have a cool design and you're kind of thinking that's going to be cool, there's this button up here under, you have to click on this tab, and it's going to be circular pattern. So, and you can always search for that too if you're not finding it. And then when you click circular pattern, you need to click on what parts you want to repeat. So I'm going to click on all these parts, and it's going to look messy for a second here because it doesn't know where the center of your circular pattern should be. So once you've kind of clicked on all your parts, then you'll see this, the center point of that circular pattern there, and we want to snap that into the center of our design there. All right, and the other thing you'll see that came up here when I push circular pattern is this number 3x. So that's how many times you want to repeat it. Notice there's 3 of these now. If I want to repeat it 3 times, go for it. If you want to repeat it 8 times, see what that looks like. And I go, oh, that looks pretty good. And maybe I want to say okay for now. and I click off to the side there, and now I'm seeing my pattern there repeat, which is, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. And maybe I'm saying I'm good for now. So the next thing, once you like your pattern and your design and everything else, you can play around with that as much as you like. Keep doing other patterns. You can do a pattern of 8 and then a separate pattern of 4 or something like that. It's really up to you. Play around with that. The next thing we're going to want to do is either make holes in our project or to add material to our project. So let's see what that's going to look like. We're going to do this using an extrude, and let's do the add to our project first. I'm going to say all these circles, I want those to be added. So I'm clicking on all those. But now I want to unhide this over here. And I'm going to look at this from a different angle a little bit. That looks kind of crazy right now, which is all right. And then I want to come over here to add. So I'm going to push add. And now you'll see they're all the same color. They're matching the color of this. And I don't want them to be that tall. I want them to be pretty short. So make these little extra pieces kind of short usually. And you can really play around with that. Maybe just something like that. And you say, yeah, that looks cool. Now you got those. And if you like that, you can leave it. But next we are going to want to try, so that's how you can add material to your top. But we can also cut material away and make holes like you see on this one here. So let's see that. The first thing you might notice is that your sketch disappeared. So it wants to hide it after you do that. So let's bring that back and unhide that. And now we're going to push extrude again. And now maybe this time I want to click on all these other pieces that I had there. And this time sometimes you might have to hide your part there. It might be a little easier to click on all of them. I'm going to, instead of push add material or add on this list here, I'm going to say remove. And now this time when I'm going to unhide my part again so I can see it again. You'll notice this time it's only going downwards, which is one option. But if you want it to go all the way through, you can change it to symmetric. And then it's going to cut in both directions since our surface is kind of in the middle there. And you can say OK there and then hide that sketch again. Might make it look a little easier to look at. And obviously mine is not very pretty. Hopefully yours is going to be a lot cooler than that. You put some flames on there or some whatever, some sparkles, some shooting stars maybe. It's really up to you. But that is how you're going to either add material, as we did with these circles, or remove material, as we did with the little notches here and the little oval shape. All right? So have some fun with that. And you are welcome to do whatever you like with this. If you want to do some research and see what's going to work really well, don't forget there is some information on our webpage that will help you think how to make a top that's going to hopefully spin longer. But play around with that, have some fun, and I will see you in class.